Good morning, y'all. I'm going to continue working with the Sunflowers and Dors printable digital kit. I have a cover that I printed on some thin copy paper and a piece of cardstock that I printed a background sheet onto, and I'm just going to cut this piece down and cut all the white edges off, and then cut some of the white edges off of this piece. I'm going to be making a notebook. So now I'm going to glue these two pieces together. I did put some extra glue in the middle where I'm going to be making my fold line, and then I just trimmed around it. I'm pressing those pages together well, and then folding this piece in half. These little simple projects are a good way to bring the colors of your cover to the inside of your journal to make your journal flow more cohesively. As with everything else in this journal, I will be using Distress Oxide in the color Vintage Photo all around the edges of the inside and the outside to cover up those white lines from cutting the pages down. Now I'm going to grab my little yellow memo pad and pull some sheets off of that and fold those in half. I also have a piece of the background pages that I printed double-sided. In other words, the front and the back, I printed the same sheet so that I could use it as notepad paper. Now I'm going to layer those sheets together in the order that I want them inside of this little notebook. Now I'm going to drop these sheets down just a little bit and then cut along the bottom. It's just a quick way to not have to really measure these sheets to fit inside of the notebook. Now I'm just going to do a quick crease on what's sticking out of the notebook so that I know where to cut this down and not have to measure it. If you're into making mass make projects, this is a very simple way of cutting down your notebook pages to fit into these little notebooks. It's very, very efficient if you're making, say, 10 or 20 notebooks. Now I just have a standard office stapler and a shoebox because this would not fit inside of my stapler and reach the middle. And as you can see, I've turned this upside down with the pages inside of it. And I'm just putting a couple of staples in and then carefully lifting this up off of that shoebox so that I can fold the staples down. So you can use staples on a project, even if your stapler doesn't reach the center. I've seen people use just stacks of cardboard scraps. I've seen people use foam, styrofoam, whatever will allow you to put those staples through without causing any damage to your desk. This is what the inside looks like. I'm going to use another piece of this sheet that I've been working off of to put a decoration on the cover of this little notebook. So I'm just cutting this out. I'm going to round the corners, and then I'm going to ink around this piece. I'm using the same design basically that I used to create the embellishment for the envelope that I made in a previous video for this journal. Again, this is a good way to keep your journal in flow and have it be cohesive. I have a little scrap piece of yellow paper here that I'm going to try to use up. Hopefully this will fit. It barely fits, but I'm happy I'm able to use a little bit of this up. I'm going to trim around this to make a little border or a frame. And then I will round the corners of this piece and ink around it as well. Now I'm going to glue this piece to the front of my little notebook. All done. Now I will go back later and ink up the pages on the inside of this notebook just so that it matches the rest of the journal. And it slides right into this back pocket. So I've pulled that design off of the original cover into the journal itself. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.